Right, let's have a little bit of fun. Let's play around with this value, right? So I want to broaden your mind. Remember, I say, well, don't worry about all this text because the text also got a value to it. So if I raise that bar 4, 5, and then push out to 6 to 7 to 8, I don't know how to count. Oh my god, a little bit embarrassing. You can see how the text disappear, how the edge blurry, fuzzy, disappear, then reappear, and how this become, how this positive space, how this shadow become fuzzy, how this become clear. Okay, so basically I want you to see what you can do with just play around with the positive space as well as negative space. See what I'm doing? See what I'm doing? Add a little bit of force. Oh my gosh. I need to resharpen this. I want you to see how this fuzzy disappearing edges reappear like magic, and how these defined edges disappear. See how the edges disappear here, right? As if this never existed before. How did even all this text disappear? As if never existed before. And how these fuzzy edges become more prominent, more clearly show, as if it's clearly defined, as if you just you clearly draw the edges like that. You can I sort of cheat a little bit by adding a little bit edges, but don't worry, I can using this technique and then draw the rest of it. Then using this magic brush to make it natural. Okay, sorry, this should be the highlight. How amazing is that? Clear-cut edges like this. Okay? So this ball and this ball's edge just be redefined. And you know what? Where is that really, prominent cast shadow? Disappeared into the negative space. And the negative space value just take over this and make the value difference more prominent. So here become a clear edge. And this more prominent content shadow as well as cast shadow disappeared into the negative space. That's how you can play around with the value. All this text, oh my gosh, the value, the text disappeared into the negative space. And negative space does not necessarily mean the value will be lower than the positive space, but rather you should get enough of the value difference so there is a big contrast. And if there's a big contrast, the edge become the hard edge. If there's like no contrast or very very little contrast, this becomes soft edge or lost edge. So for example, this shadow become lost edge. And you might think, well, does it really happen? Does it like this scenario specific thing that really happen in real life? It do happen. So for example, you put on a really dark table, you have a very pure light shine here, and then the shadow of a casting down below will be like absorbed by this like really observed like surface material, and then nearly no reflected light, just the shadow on this object. Okay, so that's do happen. So it's not that I like making things up, but rather I want to showcase how thinking outside the box, not just to draw the main space, the positive space, draw the object, draw this specific thing, and then not worry about that. Play around with it a little bit by using the value. Play around and pay attention to the negative space, so you can make the positive space stand out and guide. So if the viewers say this, well, they will suffer from here. Oh, this is like the biggest contrast. So I will go there and go there, and then this will vanish. So exactly same object, by play around with the negative space, you can completely change the order of how people look at it. So previously they will look at there because there's like a big defining shape contrast, and then there's like lost edges there, so it will be like notice lost. But here this become more prominent, and then this will become like a disappearing. Okay, so yeah, that's the reason I want to using some sort of scientific methods, so you can play around and you can see how we can guide, how we can when some critics, like commentators of a certain art, they say, well, they guide you there. They're not just just to make this like how to say that in English, like they're guard this knowledge. They're not intentionally making jargons or making this difficult. They actually telling the truth. Okay, so hopefully this like original method that I use can help you better understand the concept, and broaden your mind, make you relax when you create, and pay attention to the area that you may not pay attention before. Okay, thanks.